Staples Drive, North 24th Street.
And good afternoon, and welcome to the Cop Shop with FPD. I'm one of a number of people in the booth today. I'm Chief Steve Hebby, and with me is a new face for us at the Farmington Police Department. One we're gonna spend a lot of time getting to know today. It's our new PIO, Nicole Brown. Welcome.
Hi, I'm happy to be here.
Very good.
Co-hosting the show with you.
So for those of you that aren't, I'd urge you to log in to your Facebook. This is being beamed live to you right now. It's a riveting show, really. But on Facebook Live, you will see that Nicole is a redhead, and like many redheads, Nicole blushes, and you will be able to see that, and we'll have many instances where we will get to see that reaction today, and I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, geez.
You can almost see the red light here, almost
just lights me up, right?
So this is, we're going to sign on for another 20 years because I think we got a lot of material here that we're going to be able to exploit. So we have a guest here today, Nicole. I'll let you do the introduction since you have the big familial tie.
Oh, yeah. We have Kip Ricks with us. He's fire marshal with Farmington Fire Department, and he's going to talk about fireworks and what's legal and why we're still kind of in a fire danger situation this summer, even though we got lots of precipitation this winter.
Lots of precipitation, but it's drying out fast, so it's not as good as it seems sometimes.
Yeah.
And we're coming up on the 4th of July, so this is a busy time for Farmington Fire and Farmington PD when it comes to fireworks.
Definitely us and the county.
Yes.
The county's been very busy out there fighting fires.
Have they really?
Yeah, they've had quite a few fires here lately.
Okay, that's actually good to know. I did not know that. Nicole, was I updated with this information?
I think yesterday as we were leaving work is when all those fires broke out, so.
Apparently we're struggling a little early on here. But anyway, continue, Nicole.
I mean, it's all over Facebook, Chief.
Very good. So we are also on Facebook going to be taking applications for a PIO. Take long.
Well, so Kip, do you want to talk about what fireworks are legal, what people can set off at home?
So to kind of break it down and make it simple, if you're out buying fireworks, if the package or the firework itself has the word caution on it,
yes,
that is legal within the city limits of Farmington.
So even though it says caution?
If it says
it's
caution,
legal.
It's good. On the other hand, if it says warning, that is not legal in Farmington.
Okay.
Yeah, some of these, you can buy them outside the city limits, and they'll say warning, and in the county, they may be fine, but inside the city, they're not good.
Fair enough.
To kind of go a little bit deeper into it, aerial spinners, helicopters, mines, missile rockets, anything that basically leaves you and goes up into the air is not legal in the city of Farmington. Okay. Sparklers, handheld smoking devices, ground smoke devices, ground spinners, illuminating torches, toy smoke devices, those are legal within the city.
Okay, and so what are the fire department and the police department are teaming up, correct?
We do. We've done it the last several years where we have a police officer and we have a fire department personnel that ride together in a car, and we go around and we do patrols looking for the illegal fireworks.
And what is the penalty if you find illegal fireworks?
Penalty can be up to $500. It can be up to 90 days incarcerated, or both.
Oh, that's pretty hefty.
And so what are some of the reasons that we have those things banned within the city?
The biggest one is the fire potential. Anything that goes up into the air and shoots off, you don't have control of it. It falls and hits the ground and is still smoldering. With as dry as the grass is we have right now, it can start a pretty good fire pretty fast.
But in some cases, it can also land on neighbors' houses and things like that and present danger to your neighbors.
Yeah, it can land on roofs and stuff like that as well, which brings another safety precaution when you're doing these fireworks. Have a bucket of water there. As soon as you quit, once that firework is over, take it and dunk it in the bucket of water. That makes sure that it's out 100%.
So that's something, we talk about the efforts of the PD and the fire, and we talk about the penalties and stuff, but when you get to the why are these things illegal? I mean, we have had instances where neighbors' houses have been set on fire and people have been hurt or put out of their homes as a result of somebody else using fireworks.
Exactly. And it doesn't take long for that grass, especially the cheat grass that we have.
Sure.
Right now, the winds and this heat, it's drying it out. And that stuff is, I mean, for all practical purposes, it's like dry gasoline. It's
Sure.
just, once it gets going, it'll get away from you super fast.
And we've had pretty good winds over the last week or two.
Exactly.
So that'll really fan it.
Exactly.
And also the cotton from all of the cottonwood trees in the
cottonwood
area.
trees. Exactly.
If you notice, it looks like it's snowing in June, and that is also highly flammable,
Exactly.
correct?
Exactly. Safe way to do it, man, come out on the 3rd and watch the city of Farmington's fireworks.
Very good, because we have, coming up here from the 3rd through the 7th, we have Freedom Days. It's 33rd Annual Freedom Days. Were you aware of that?
Yes.
Very, very
awesome.
good. It is
It's
awesome.
always a good time.
And I think that Scott or his able staff, I'm not sure because they're just disembodied voices today, are going to have that up on their Facebook page or website so that you can see all the different events that we've got coming up over the next week or so, including the 4th of July parade, which is a favorite of mine. It's in the evenings, and you'll see FPD out there, and I'm sure FFD will be out there as well.
We will have people.
Very good. So, what other things are coming up during Freedom Days that fire department participates in? Is there anything in
We have
particular?
the parades. We'll be out patrolling. And then we do have crews that are set aside strictly for that fireworks show. So they'll be working the public safety along with your officers. There are members of the county that come in and help with this. And we have trucks rolling around just for emergency medical for fires if there's that kind of stuff.
So does Farmington Fire leave the jurisdiction and go support the county?
We do. We have a very good working relationship with the county. They have come in to Farmington when we've been super busy and helped man some of our stations, and vice versa. When they have fires that are larger than what they have people responding, they don't hesitate to call us, and we go out and help them as well.
Very
We're
good.
lucky to have that good working
No,
relationship
that
with
is,
the county.
and that's not everywhere that has that kind of
Exactly.
cooperation, so that's great. So, I was listening to some of the chatter before the show, and it seems like you've been at FFD for a while.
So I proudly hold the honor of being the oldest person to ever go through their academy at age 47.
Really? Outstanding.
Learned everything I know from Nicole's dad.
Very good.
So, but yes, and I oldest person to go through the academy, get hired on with Farmington. I've been with Farmington for 13 years now, and for the last month, I've been the assistant fire marshal for the city.
Well, very good. So, I know sometimes police, there's almost a natural rivalry sometimes between police and fire, and sometimes police maybe don't understand the hard training that you guys go through. I mean, there's a perception that maybe it's playing Xbox, and it's eating until you're tired, and then it's sleeping until you're hungry. Is that
Washing
roughly?
trucks,
Is
handing
that-
out hugs.
Washing
yeah.
trucks.
Yeah, Dalmatian doggy barking day. So it means it doesn't seem like it's that big an honor that you made it through the academy, but
Oh, it's a
at
huge
47 to be playing Xbox, I mean,
Exactly.
you mean you can hurt yourself?
I mean,
I don't know if Chief Burke's listening, but I hope that he is.
No, that's one of the things I'm happy about is that we do have this good relationship with PD as well.
No, we do have a good relationship. So you mentioned Nicole's dad. You've known Nicole's dad, and you've known Nicole for many years. Perhaps there's stories that you're eager to share.
No, she'll hit me on air.
Well,
That would be embarrassing to get beat up by a girl right now.
well, an angry girl is a little more easily explained, and that could happen here. So, well, very good. So, people should look for, and we're really not out there handing out a bunch of citations when we're rolling around. We are out trying to suppress some of the fireworks that are going on, and we will collect up fireworks that are either turned in or confiscated when they're
Exactly.
being used illegally. But we're really not out there hanging a lot of citations on people. But, if it's a persistent problem, we do.
Exactly.
So the public can call dispatch, and dispatch will send officers, and combined with fire, we'll try and stop what's going on.
Exactly.
So, have you worked that detail?
Year before last.
Did you?
Got the honor of doing it. And it was fun.
Was it busy?
It was. I mean,
Lots
we
of
had a lot
calls
fun.
come in?
It's not so much the calls. It was just more driving and listening and watching for stuff. That's how we.
It's not hard to see where they are usually,
Exactly.
is it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, that's very good. Well, we'll take a quick break, and we will come back, and we'll probably go a little different direction with the second half of this show. But in the meantime, as we fade out, we'll give a shout out to Georgette Allen, one of the originals here, and I know she's dying because we're having a ton of fun here, and she's not getting to be here with us. So, shout out to you, Georgette.
The Farmington Police Department has partnered with the City of Farmington to launch the Slow Down Farmington campaign. We're asking citizens to join the campaign and serve as advocates for their community by reminding others to slow down and take their time, not a life. Participation is easy. Stop by the police department or City Hall and pick up a Slow Down Farmington sign to display in your yard. Snap a photo of you, your family, or your pet next to the sign and share it on social media using hashtag #SlowDownFarmington. The Farmington Police Department, your department, our community.
Hi, I'm Yael Cassander.
And I'm Don Glass.
And we host A Moment of Science.
For more than 20 years, A Moment of Science has been taking an entertaining look at the science behind some of life's most perplexing questions.
In just 2 minutes, you get a look at the fascinating world around us and beyond.
We hope you'll tune in.
For more information about A Moment of Science or to download our latest podcasts, visit us at amomentofscience.org.
Listen weekday afternoons at 5:45 on KSJE.
Hi, I'm Tracy Hales-Vass, writer, retired professor of creative writing, and founder of One Book, One Community. I now host Right on Four Corners every Wednesday, 10:30 to 11, when I'll talk to local and regional authors. So please join me Wednesdays here on 90.9 FM, KSJE, Farmington.
Hey everyone, it's your host for the World Beat Show, Scott Duran, and I want you to join me every Saturday at 11 a.m., where I take you on a journey around the world and show you traditional and modern style world beat music. Music from Africa, Spain, France, Japan, China, heck, even songs and artists from the United States itself. So join me every Saturday at 11 a.m. only on the KSJE 90.9 FM.
Tune into Turntable Taxi on KSJE Saturday nights at 8 o'clock. Each week, we select a musical style and play 78s, 45s, and 33 RPM records. Some of our themes will include swing music, blues, heart-wrenching torch songs, early rock and roll, girl groups, soul, and R&B.
And welcome back to the Cop Shop with FPD with your host Nicole Brown and Kip. And Kip, you were talking a little bit about some of the dangers as well that we didn't get to before we went to break. Some of the dangers with seemingly innocent things like sparklers.
Exactly. So, I mean, a sparkler, as innocent as that does seem like, and we always let our kids play with them, need to be careful with that. Sparkler burns at 1,200 degrees. Keep in mind, wood burns at 575 degrees. Glass will melt at 900 degrees. So you got to be really careful with them and supervise your kids. Just don't hand it to them and let them go running around because they could get severely burned. One of the stats that's out there is that about a quarter of all the ER visits during this time of season is from sparklers and fireworks.
Actually, I didn't know that. I did know a couple of years ago a defensive lineman in the NFL was celebrating 4th of July. It was getting close to training camp, and and actually a firework blew up in his hand, and he lost a couple of fingers and was, almost ended his career. It definitely was a bad injury for him. So it's a fun time of year, but it is a dangerous time as well.
Exactly. Be very careful with them.
So, well, thank you for being here, Kip. And
Thank you.
We urge people to practice celebrating the 4th of July, but do it safely.
Definitely.
And don't burn anything down.
Please.
Please. Very good. And Nicole, you've been working with Georgette some as Georgette's moved to her new position, but we've had a fairly big story for our area that we've been working on, and it's not a happy story, unfortunately. And so you've got some information on it.
Yes. We hopefully most people know about our missing person, Cecilia Fanona. She was last seen on May 31st. And the person that she was suspected to be with, Jerry J., he's been detained on a warrant from Farmington Police Department for financial withdrawal from a financial institution. And he's being held in Sparks, Nevada. So we're really looking for, as the department, anybody that has saw either one of them or anybody that maybe caught them on surveillance footage at one of their businesses, because, we are concerned about her because he's been detained, but we have not located her. So we, anybody that's got information on her or on him, saw them, anything like that, they're suspected to have traveled through the Navajo Nation. So that's something that where the family's heavily looking, and the department is working with several other departments for everyone to search their areas and try to get information on her. It's becoming something that we're really concerned about. So that it is,
and when you see these nationwide, and we've seen these missing persons, I think there's a missing mom right now in Utah or someplace like that the police are trying to find them, and it is a very difficult circumstance, very difficult for the families, very difficult for the departments involved. You're doing your best. In this case, like you mentioned, he was picked up in Sparks, Nevada. There's a lot of driving between here and Sparks, Nevada. Mm-hmm. It's a big area. We are extremely concerned that something bad has happened to Cecilia, and we are urging anybody that has any information that can come forward and help us. We are coordinating with other agencies across the Southwest, and that involves multiple states, including Nevada and Arizona, as well as California departments, to see if we can locate her and find out what's happened, because she hasn't been heard from now in over 3 weeks, and so the fact that he was using her card at ATMs wasn't a good thing for us. On another front, that's sad for our community, but we also had more news this week that was sad as well. This last Christmas, Chief Burke and I and my wife started something called the Guardians of the Good, and we solicited nominations for people around the county who are just everyday people that are living their life and doing the best they can, facing difficult circumstances. And one of the names that was sent in to us was for a Tony Samora. Tony was extremely sick, had been battling cancer for quite a while, was also a caretaker to her husband, continued to work out here at the casino, and was doing a good job there, was well thought of by her coworkers as she battled all of these things. And we are pleased to recognize her as one of the Guardians of the Good. And this week we learned from the family that she's gone into hospice and is not expected to survive much longer. And the family has put up a link to GoFundMe.
Yes, and we shared that on our Facebook page, and I think Farmington Fire shared it on theirs as well, because both you and Chief Burke were involved with the Guardians of the Good. And it is set up by the family, and it's to kind of help with those funds for her services, because they know that it is kind of the end of her battle with cancer. And we just wanted to share that with everyone, so that if they feel inclined to donate, that's where you would do it. It's going to go directly to the family.
So that was, very sad news. She's 59 years old, I believe. And so it's very sad when you're facing those kind of odds and you've been such a good person battling and supporting your family. So our thoughts and prayers are with Tony and her family, and we do urge you, if you can, take a look at that account, and the money's going to be used for burial costs for Tony. It's come down to that. So if you can give, we would appreciate it, and I know her family would too.
Yes, very much so.
So with the last few minutes, we're going to play, just a little different game here.
Well, but on a good note, the Riverwalk trails are open.
Oh!
We don't have to talk about me yet.
Really? And yet we're running out of time. You're right. The Riverwalk trails are open, and that's something Kip talked about, that we've had a lot of rain and a lot of moisture, but that it's also dried up pretty quickly.
Yes.
And the river was overflowing for a little while, and it really has shrunk back. I was down there on the trail earlier this week, and it's wide open. A lot of people using it.
That's good. Yeah. Get out there, use the trails. It's a good time. Have fun. So,
the official NFL team of the Farmington Police Department, Nicole,
yeah,
is what?
I really feel like we have so many individuals within the department that you can't nail it down to one official team.
Well, I know
that the chief of the department prefers the Packers.
Really?
But I know that other people within the department have their own team.
While we are diverse and we do support diversity, largely we don't care about that when it comes to football. So Nicole is right-ish, if you can. Yeah. She is correct that the department's sanction is on the mighty Green Bay Packers. I can't even get out of this booth because Scott is such a Buffalo Bills fan, and he's constantly trying to insert that into our shows. It's almost
Cue the Buffalo Bills picture.
Yeah,
I mean, that's...
Yeah. Well, just rip down the big fat head he has in his office of Jim Kelly, and that's all I can take. So I'm very proud of you. You've done your work on that. And now, Kip, you had several very interesting personal probing questions that you wanted to ask Nicole.
I don't know if they can see on camera, but she's got her hand around my throat.
Boy, if there was only a policeman around, they could do something about it.
This is why fire is such a close family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't throw each other under the bus.
Well, PD does. PD does. So we will probably pull off. We'll have other probing, and so if you have questions that you'd like to know more about Nicole, she's just starting her foray with us, and we urge our listeners to get on Facebook and message us with questions that you'd like to know about her, like, how is her first week gone, or how fast does it take her before the blood drains back out of her face after she gets undressed?
Yeah.
I mean, these are questions the world wonders. The fact that you have little footballs hanging from your ears is what prompted the Packer question.
Yeah, I felt like this was more about style.
Really? Well, wrong again.
Not about football, but everything goes that way.
So we're kind of learning about each other, and we'll continue to do that on air in the coming months. But in the meantime, we wish you all a great 4th of July and hope to see you down there at Freedom Days. Thank you.
The beacon has never been brighter. This is KSJE Farmington, on the air at 90.9 FM and HD, and online at ksje.com.
robots the size of blood cells, Earth-like planets outside the solar system, science fiction.
No, science faction.
Join us, Seth Shostak and
Molly Bentley and
KSJE, Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. for Big Picture Science.
Big Picture Science steps back to get the wide-angle view on science and technology.
So think big. Big Picture Science, Saturdays at 8 a.m.
on KSJE, the information and cultural beacon of the Four Corners.
On the Media is all about print, broadcast, and the internet.
And civil liberties, we do a lot on that.
The show is about technological utopia.